Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm going to be building some Lego. Or is it pronounced Legos? When I was a kid we used to call it Lego, but I hear people calling it Legos, so let me know in the comments which is the correct way to say it because I don't know. Now I'm not sure how entertaining this video is going to be, but it's just raining constantly at the moment. Now it might look from my other reviews that I'm getting some good weather, but my flying field is pretty close to where I live, so I literally just have to sit and wait for a gap in the rain and then go out and do my review. I don't want to do that today, so I'm going to be building this guy. Now, I've mentioned in the past that I used to build Lego when I was a kid, and I've got proof of it here. Got a old photo, remember when we used to develop photos? And these weren't kits here, I used to just build them up out of spare blocks that I had, and then I used to hide them because my brother would come along and smash them up. I think some people are born to build Lego, and some people were born just to smash it up. Anyways, half of the fun with Lego was rebuilding it, I guess. Another picture of me here. And yes, I've been doing this for a long time. Found this picture as well. This is my second Nitro plane that I ever had. It was bigger than me. Just look at the aerial on that. Anyway, yeah, I don't think this is a official Lego product. They have just made the packaging look that way. But yeah, anyways, if Lego do have their own version, I think that'd be cool because, well, when I was a kid, there was no chance of anything flying once you had built it. Anyways, this one is from China, and what I think is quite funny is if we look at this here, it says, building block toy can better develop the imagination of children. Let children learn in the game. Now, they might learn how to build Lego with this model, but you definitely don't want them to be learning any English from this box. But anyway, let's have a look what you get inside it. So I already kind of did an unboxing of this, but let's just take a look at it anyways. So we've got these different layers of boxes here, and then I think there should be, yeah, a transmitter in there. Now the transmitter looks like an NJX style transmitter, so that's gonna need, I think, AAA batteries. No screw in it. That's interesting, isn't it? So let's take a look at what we have got here. Okay, so opening the first one, and it looks like we've got some motor arms here. I do believe that these Lego pieces here, they are going to be compatible with actual Lego, but yeah, it hasn't got the Lego logo on there. And then we got some props here as well. So it looks like this is the flight controller and charger. So let's take a look at that. So micro Lossy charger, and then a dedicated flight controller with Lego pieces there. So that's just going to press down. I do think this is going to fall apart in the sky, but Lego's meant to fall apart, isn't it? So some instructions here, seems fairly straightforward. And then we got some arms here and a battery as well. Let's have a look at the battery. So say 1S battery, 350 milliamp there. So good that we get a battery because I wasn't sure. And then we got the arms here, and then it looks like this is the frame. I love this. Let's have a look at all the pieces. And the question is, am I going to look at the instructions, or I'm going to do what I did when I was a kid and ignore it and just build it myself? I think I might in this instance, as this is kind of a review. I think I might follow the instructions. Okay, let's start off with the front. So I think this goes on there like that, and then these side pieces here. And then this back piece on here, just to keep that all steady. And then, according to the instructions, then the arms go on at an angle. It doesn't tell you which arm goes where, but I'm going to assume that the blue and red wire is the clockwise, and then I think 1, 2, so it's that one there. Goes on diagonally like that, and then this one on here, again, just assuming usually this is counterclockwise, this one clockwise. And then, so this one has to go opposite, and it says that it goes there, I think. Let's have a see. So, on there like so, and then this one on here, like that. There, that's it. And then we have got some brackets somewhere. There we go. Should be 2 of those. Where's the other one gone? There it is. Right, so this could be tricky, this bit, because these are going to have to line up. So I think that goes on there to keep these in place. And it doesn't quite fit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does. Just have to press on it hard there. So there's the other one, and then this goes on here like that, and again just press down hard. Looks like it's come apart there a little bit. There we go. It's in place there, and then what's next? Let's have a see. Looks like it's telling me to put the flight controller in place next, I think. So that should just press on, I think, like that. Yeah. There we go. It's very easy to do. This is, and then let's have a look what's next. It's saying, I think this goes on the front there. I'm not just gonna press in, hopefully. There we go. And then we've got some sides to go in as well. Which ones do those go on? I think, well, I'll only fit on one, so there we go. That on there, and then that on there, like that. And then we've got these things left over. I guess those are to go. Where does it say those go? It doesn't, I don't think. Is it saying where those go? Where's the box? Don't know where those go. They're just spares or something? Can't see where these are going. So, are those spares of those? They look like it. I think just some spares. And we've got some spare props too. And then the battery. That's just going to go under there. Also, I need to plug in the cables here, so I'm just going to route those underneath here, like that. And then those are just 1.25 pitch JST connectors, so a little bit fiddly. I should have done that before I put the sides on, really. Shouldn't I? Should I do that? Oh no, that's in pretty solid, actually. So, yeah. That's just gonna go in there, and then this in here. I'm just gonna route these underneath so that they're out of the way. I think you're supposed to put the battery in before the arms go on, so take that off, and then the battery goes in there like that, and then you put this on there. Ah, I see. Pretty cool. And then your battery plugs in there. I need to put some batteries in here too. Okay, so let's take this one for a fly. I've come into this room and there's a lot of junk in here at the moment because we are redecorating, so apologies for that. But before I fly it, I want to take you through the controls because the manual isn't very clear. So this is a mode 2 transmitter only, and as I'm a mode 1 flyer, this one's going to be quite a challenge in this small space, but I think I might just about manage it. So we have got this button here, which is for 2 different rates. This one here actually does nothing, but if you press it, it beeps like it's going to do a flip, but it's actually a repurposed transmitter, so it doesn't do a flip, which I'm glad about, really, with it being Lego. And then these buttons here, these are trims. This button in the middle doesn't seem to do anything, and then these 2 buttons here, we have got 1 key to crash, aka 1 key to return. Don't use that function. And then we've got headless mode. I don't recommend that function either. And then you can calibrate the accelerometer by putting both of the sticks that way, and then calibrate the headless mode by putting both sticks that way. Now, I recommend that before you fly it, you do calibrate the accelerometer, because when I first flew this, it went off at an angle, and then when I calibrated it, it was fine. I've also put these 2 spare pieces on the top there as well. One thing that I want to mention though is I'm flying this indoors because it has one problem for flying it outdoors, and that is its failsafe doesn't work correctly, which is a bit of a shame. Let me just show you. So I'll plug the quadcopter in here like that. We get the red light on the front, and then turn on the transmitter, throttle up and down, and then if I just lift up the throttle slightly there and then turn off the transmitter, this light will flash to say that it's recognized there's been a disconnection, but then the motors continue spinning, so there's potential for a flyaway there. So I would only recommend flying this one indoors so that it doesn't fly off somewhere if you lose connection. But anyway, if I turn the transmitter back on and then rebind, it'll stop. So before I fly, I'm actually going to calibrate the accelerometer, so I'm going to do that there. You can see the light flashes there. Let's go into the stronger rate and let's go for a fly, hopefully. And there we go. Look at that. So it's flying straight and true there. Now, I think the early videos of this showed it falling apart in the air, and I haven't found that with this one, so they must have improved it. Of course, if you crash it into something, then I'd say it's definitely going to fall apart, and that is something that could potentially happen here today because, yeah, I'm not a Mode 2 flyer, and this is a very small space. So let me just show you that flip function. You can see there it doesn't actually do anything, so all that we have got is the 2 different rates, and I'm staying in the highest rate because I don't want to hit anything if I can help it, and then headless mode and 1 key to crash. Just don't bother. So one thing that I'm noticing with this is it's lacking LEDs. I think it would have been nice if the board had more LEDs on it. So I'm trying nose in here, which is something that I struggle with in Mode 2, but I'm going to brave it in this small space, just about managing it. Of course, when you do nose in, line of sight, everything then becomes backwards. Yeah, so just that one light on the front there. Hopefully it's going to give us an LVC, but I'm expecting about a 4-minute flight time with this one. One thing that you could do, and it's one thing that I've thought about, is sticking an FPV camera at the front, looking through that piece of glass. I think that would be quite funny. The problem I have though is that I can't fly FPV indoors very well with Mode 2, I found out. I just wonder if this one can be deviated, or has been deviated, should I say, and that is so that you can use the Walkera Devo 7E with it, with the Deviation TX firmware on it, and the extra modules. That would be kind of cool. I need to look into that. It's probably using a copied protocol anyways, but a lot of these toy grades, they just give them new protocols. There's even a word for it. They call it yet another protocol, or YAP, I think. Oh, this is flying really nice, I have to say. It's not falling apart. It's not vibrating, really. I can hear a little rattle, but I'm not surprised. It's made out of Lego. But yeah, this performance there, I have to say, is pretty good. Let's get it back to tail in so that I can fly it. Yeah, so it's not drifting around. I'm managing to control it with this little transmitter. It's pretty cool. I think if you're looking at getting this as a gift for someone, though, I'd probably say ages 12 and above for it, just because there's no prop protectors. You could nip yourself with these propellers, I think. And also, I think if you're going to crash it, it's going to fall apart. So, yeah, I'm managing to keep it in one piece here because I've flown these things a lot. But I think if you were a beginner, then it's a cool thing to have if you're a Lego fan, but if you really want to learn how to fly, then get one that's not going to crumble to pieces when you crash it, because I think this one will. Decent flight time though, I have to say. I really like it. This has been a fun day for me. Definitely cheered me up after all the horrible weather that we've been having. So yeah, you might want to get some spare batteries as well. And of course, if you do want to keep it in one piece, you could potentially glue these parts together with some super glue, but then that sort of defies the object of it being Lego. One thing about Lego that I always enjoyed was sort of rebuilding it and rebuilding things slightly differently, etc. So yeah, I like it. Looks like the flight time's pretty good on it as well. For just a 350 milliamp battery, that's quite good. I think if you stuck a little FPV camera on there, it would shorten the flight time for sure. But I think it'd carry it, you know. I think that would be a nice little addition to it. It doesn't have huge amounts of power, but enough to fly, which is all that you need. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend the headless mode, really. Oh, looks like we've got a flashing light, so that'd be the LVC. So you're going to want to come in for a landing when that flashes, otherwise you're going to ruin your battery. So let's see if I can land it in front of me. There we go. Yeah, one thing I really like about this as well is the throttle's really accurate. Look at the low RPM of those motors there. But yeah, we've got an LVC, so it's time to land. Let's have a feel of the motors. They are lukewarm, they're not too warm, so that's not too bad. And they look like they are 7mm motors there. Now, again, I've never had any of these burn out on me, but people tell me that they have them burn out, so you might want to get some spare 7mm motors with a JST connector. But there you go, that is my review of the Lego/Blocks Quadcopter. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.